That's not my intro. Hang on a second. There we go. Tolerating the intolerable and why it's simply bananas. This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Sorry. Good song. Have you noticed the madness in the world today? The constant philosophical inconsistencies that exist today? What inconsistencies am I talking about? Well, tolerance these days basically falls under the ability or willingness to tolerate the existence of opinions or behavior that one dislikes or disagrees with. The problem with this is that we are permitting stupidity and evil. There is nothing to be gained from tolerance as it is exercised today. Should we tolerate rape? Well, my response is no. But many leftists seem perfectly fine with praising the likes of Roman Polanski. What exactly did Roman Polanski do?
Offered, do you want one of these? And I'm like, you know, then he took one and he's like, oh, are you sure? Or offer it again? And when he offered again, I just took it. I don't know, it was just hard to say no to him, and I was naive, and you know, maybe I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll try that. And then after I did it, I thought, wow, I should have done that. That was really stupid.
But did you feel that he attacked you? Did he come up behind you? What actually? It
wasn't like that at all. It was just like, why don't you, I told him I was I was sick, I had asthma, I need to go home, because I got scared when I realized this is not modeling now.
Right.
We're not friends, this isn't right. This guy should not be getting in a jacuzzi with me. So then I was scared, I'm like, I'm sick, and he's like, okay, well, just, well, maybe you should sit down and rest. And it was like, well, no, I don't really want to go in there and sit down. It's like, well, no, just rest, you'll feel better. And it's like, well, I'd rather just go home. And I mean, I didn't know what room we were going into, but it's just a dark room. And I knew once I realized, okay, this guy wants me in there for a reason, and it's to have sex with me. And although he was saying rest because I told him I was sick. And I just didn't, once I said no and that didn't work, it was like, oh, well, I was shocked, I was high, I didn't know how to respond, I just didn't have anything, I was confused, and it was like, wow, this is just gonna happen.
He raped a girl of 13 years of age. He gave a young girl champagne, then he drugged her with Quaaludes, a drug used by Bill Cosby and Hugh Hefner. He's in great company there. This is then followed by oral sex and sodomy. And incredibly, the response from Hollywood folk is one of a miscarriage of justice toward Roman Polanski. Listen to Meryl Streep on the matter.
Yes, Roman Polanski, I'm very sorry that he's in jail.
So, we should just be tolerant, shouldn't we? Should we tolerate lies? My response again is no. Yet, leftist media publications like CNN seem eager to perpetuate an untrue narrative because it does not support their agenda and could have contributed to more toxicity, but somehow through being deceitful, they simply are helping their own weak foundation self-destruct. Much has already been said regarding this story already, but why is CNN misrepresenting the news and distorting facts?
During the Milwaukee riots, a relative of Sybil Smith's took a microphone and cried into it that people needed to stop burning down their neighborhood, and everyone watching CNN that day was left with the impression that the people there just wanted peace and justice. That is, until we all realized CNN had cut out the part of her speech where, immediately after calling for an end to the destruction, she says, we need to take that shit to the suburbs, essentially saying, let's go burn down Whitey's house instead. And CNN still wonders why they get called fake news.
So, we should just be tolerant, shouldn't we? What about the stupid Women's March? And how the loving and acceptable tolerant left are standing up for women's rights? What better way is this represented than having two powerful women from backward ideologies and cultures infiltrate the minds of the easily manipulated lefties who only seek out to love and accept the cultures and religions of others, even when the head figures of these movements are terrorists, literally terrorists, or at the very least terrorist sympathizers who advocate for Sharia law and Islamic law that oppresses women to the point where an honor killing is allowed, and where a woman who is raped will most likely be murdered because she must have 3 male witnesses to prove she was penetrated against her will. But, tolerance. Linda Sarsour is an American Palestinian woman who adopts the belief that Sharia law belongs in America. She is the prime example that tolerance has become intolerable and why it's bananas. The militant leftists have elevated the likes of Linda Sarsour and Ria Osme, I think that's how you pronounce it, as brave heroes representing a cause, and this narrative is being sold hook, line, and sinker. People actually believe this bullshit. I struggle to understand how they honestly believe that these women care about other women when they clearly don't. One has murdered innocent lives. That's very caring. The other believes her own publicity and does nothing to shine a light on the struggles of women in the Middle East under Sharia law, the very cause she supposedly champions, women's rights. But tolerance. What about the fact that in New York, one can choose from no less than 31 genders? We as a society need to make sure we don't misgender anyone, because if we do that, it could have irreparable damaging consequences to one's feelings. So, it has now been sanctioned. Those of us who have the audacity to address a human being by what we see visually, who may in fact identify as something else, well, we could cop a 6-figure fine. It reads this way: the Commission's legal guidance on gender identity protections under the New York City human rights law addresses situations in which individuals intentionally and repeatedly target transgender and gender nonconforming people. Accidentally misusing a transgender person's preferred pronoun is not a violation of the law and will not result in a fine. Okay, so who is the arbiter of this moment? What if the transgendered individual just decides, you know what, I don't like this person, I'm going to have them fined? I mean, how is this going to be controlled? How will this be properly policed? The Commission issued this guidance last year so that employers and individuals understand what the law says and to ensure that every transgender individual in New York City is treated with the respect and dignity they deserve. Clearly, any individual deserves to be treated with respect and dignity. But I don't know how that can be sanctioned. I don't get it. What about the tolerant and non-contradictory at all movement of Queers for Palestine? What about how when a Christian mentions Christ publicly, there's an uproar? Yet when a Muslim murders in the name of their faith, it is hidden by the media and all you hear is that Islam is a religion of peace. What about when Ann Coulter called Barack Obama a retard? Shit hit the ceiling. Everyone said she was insensitive. What a bully. Yet Barack Obama wants mentally challenged babies terminated in the womb. Does all of this make sense? Because to me it really doesn't. I'm genuinely confused at the state of the world right now. The lefties, mostly, are the ones perpetuating this tolerance of everything. What happens when you continue to be tolerant of absolutely everything? You lose your moral compass. You lose your conscience because those around you are indoctrinating and forcing you to think their way. If you don't think their way, they'll make you do what they want, whether you like it or not. It makes me really angry.
What are you doing?
Anyway, like, share, and subscribe if anything resonated with you.